Hey there, fellow adventurers. Michelle Trieste, speaker and storyteller, back here with you. I'm here with little Maya. It's been pretty busy, and I have to pick up my grandmother duties again, get off the bike, and I'm so happy. I missed her a lot. But what I wanted to do is just take time. I've been thinking about you all and editing some of the footage that I have from the trip, and I wanted to start with the Beartooth Highway. It is an amazing route, and I wanted to share with you some of the things we stopped at along the way. One of the things we did was we stopped at the Smith Mine disaster, Smith Mine number 3, I believe it was. 77 men died in this coal mine, and you could just still see all the buildings there, and I think only 3 survived. It's just a sad reminder of what people have gone through in the past and what they've learned along the way, on the way to getting energy, the things we need. So it was humbling to see what those losses of those families and those men had in order to change some of the laws. But anyway, I'm digressing there. But it was a very special place to stop at on the way. And then we made our way up through the different terrains over to the Beartooth Highway. And it's been called the most scenic road in America, and I could totally see why. You know, I come from the East Coast, so going to the West Coast and having those amazing roads to ride where you just go miles and miles without stopping at a stop sign and just going up in elevation, seeing the change in the terrain was something that you'll see. I share that with you too. Following this, I'll show some of the footage that I have on that amazing ride, and you can see the dips, and there's about, I'll spare you, but you're not going to see 82 curves and like 13 switchbacks. Obviously, I will spare you seeing them all, but you'll get a feel for just how amazing it is to go through those twists and curves, and you're trying to look over at the scene, but you really have to keep your eye on the road. So I was really happy, and I really enjoyed the footage myself as I reviewed and looked at some nice shots for you to appreciate. Some call the most beautiful and scenic ride in America. It connects to Wyoming and Montana. And as you know, my group started in Wapiti, kind of went through Cody, and then we made our way up to the Beartooth Highway. And made it to the top. Elevation up there was, I think, like almost 10,000 feet above sea level. And you could just see the terrain change way up there. Lots of bikers, barely any traffic. I have to say, before I left on this trip, I almost chickened out because of the heat dome everyone talks about and roads being closed that I heard from like last year in Yellowstone. But I have to say, there was none of that going on. So you're higher up in elevation, temperature was perfect, not a lot of tourists. So sad to say that economy there, but happy to say for the traffic, you'll see it was just an amazing ride. And no traffic, and people were so courteous. And Montana and Wyoming, they have a group of bikers come up on them, and they just wait and they move over. So, you know, hands down to those amazing, thoughtful people, very friendly to bikers, and everyone could enjoy the view together. So we made our way up, and then we wanted to take us, I think it's like 77 miles, and yeah, it's just an amazing ride. You have to see it, whether in a car or on a bike, but definitely I can say on the bike is the way to go. And on our way there, we actually also stopped not only the Smith Mine disaster site, but we also stopped at Red Lodge, and it is just the quintessential little west town in Montana to stop in and appreciate just how things were. And you know, coming from the East Coast, you know, we forget, you know, 1700s. We started over here in the East, and as I'm driving even to the Beartooth and on the way through Wyoming, it was such a reminder of, you know, we migrated west from the East Coast. And so all I could see in my mind's eye was how difficult it must have been to drag wagons over months and months and months to make their way out west, and the dips in the valley. And I just can't imagine the hardships that people went through in order to make it out west. So there was a lot of, just a sadness thinking about just the hardships and loss that they must have gone through in order to establish this country, extending it. And I just give them so much credit and honor the people, especially in Wyoming and Montana. They really just very solid communities. Everyone knows, and they really help each other and honor the law and each other. So they were just very hospitable, and I just can't wait to go back. But back to my ride, and the most amazing ride in America. I would say please go there. Everything is open. Now that ride, the Beartooth Highway, is only open for 5 months out of the year. So make sure you plan to go after Memorial Day, but before October, because it shuts down. I'm sure you can see online just how high the snow gets. And the National Park Forest upkeep the roads, but not in the winter. It's just way too harsh. But yeah, everything was open. So go visit Red Lodge. It's a beautiful little town, and you can really see, cowboys walking around, and people are extremely polite, and they have great history to show. And yeah, I think you'll see some of the pictures and history of people, what they've come through, and the different backgrounds. So I'm going to move on, and I'll stop again. while Maya's enjoying the water and the flowers here. I wanted to let you know to keep an eye out for my next video, which I am putting together. I'll be showing you some of Yellowstone Park and maybe some Cook City and some more maps of the rides for you to enjoy. So Maya and I enjoy the water here. We will be thinking of you, and until then, keep your hearts and mind open and feet on the ground. Take care. Bye.